Yeah, good camera. And we're off. Mayans. Whew. Mayans is such an insane civilization. Actually, let me show you guys. I'm going to show you guys how Viper used to play the Mayans. I swear he had such a unique style with it. It was around the time where Obsidian Arrows was a thing. And so he would do it to set up the Obsidian Arrow play. But I remember thinking, like, I can just do this even without the Obsidian Arrows. And I think it would be really broken. Let me show you guys what I mean. And I'll kind of play how Viper used to play with Mayans this game. See if it still works. And I think it really should work as well still. It's a very cool playstyle. So like basically how it is you just play like a regular Mayans game. You open archers, eagles, whatever you have to do in the early game. Even infantry sometimes. It doesn't really matter what you open up with. But in the mid game, instead of saving up for Imperial Age, or even like a castle, he would just spam like more ranges. He would go up to like 5 or 6 ranges in Castle Age. And he would spam archers. Now archers with the Mayans are discounted. So you can quickly see how strong it is to just start spamming a bunch of crossbows. Already a very good unit. And he would just use it to trade back and forth. Of course, this was like extremely good when Obsidian Arrows was a thing. Because then he'd get a castle, get the Obsidian Arrows technology, and he'd just melt buildings with his range units. But even without Obsidian Arrows, I think you can actually still play pretty well. I think we'll go for the boar here. Let's see what I can do. These are extra deer. I think I'm going to find my actual deer here. And I'll pull those guys in. Oh, no. Never mind. They're at the back over here. They'll make it work. 2 on wood. I'll probably open archers here. Up against Burgundians. I think archers works pretty well versus Burgundians. And I think the strategy that I'm about to do also works pretty well versus Burgundians. Because it lets me play for the relics pretty nicely. And the important thing is that you still go for your 3 town centers, okay? Or like at least 1 extra town center. So you at least want to play 2 TCs. But sometimes, I think most of the time, you just go up to 3 TCs anyways. And if you're wondering why I know so much about how Viper used to play Mayans, you have to understand, guys, that when Viper was like the #1 guy on ranked ladder, on tournaments, on everything, he didn't play that much. So when he played, I would pay close attention, see what he's doing, try to learn from him, see what he's doing compared to everyone else. And back then, things weren't like figured out like they are now. There's a lot of things that he was doing that a lot of other players weren't doing, and so it was really important to actually take note of them. And so when he was doing this Obsidian Arrow stuff and he was beating a lot of guys, it obviously caught my attention. And most players would be like, and viewers alike would be like, oh, Obsidian Arrows is completely broken. Look what Viper's doing. But I feel like I saw a lot more than just the Obsidian Arrows. I saw a playstyle that was extremely aggressive and caught opponents off guard, which then let him set up the Obsidian Arrows. But the Obsidian Arrows were not the main part of the strategy. So let's see if the strategy still works today. Even without Obsidian Arrows. I think it will. I think it's going to be great, actually. If I remember, it was absolutely insane back in the day. He had a really high win rate with it. In fact, I don't remember him losing with the strategy. And I watched it a few times. So let's see if I can replicate it this game. Let's see how strong it is in 2026. All right, bringing in my last deer. We're gonna open archers like normal. Again, it is a pretty standard Mayans game plan. It's not anything crazy. It's not like a build. It's just a play style. It's not even like a specific strategy per se. All right. There we go. I'm gonna for sure have more than 500 food here when I first drop. There we go. Yeah, nice and easy. Okay. Need a lot more wood. Cool. So 8 on wood. I could lure these guys, but like that's a bit much. This is a nice wall though here. Maybe even a nice wall down here. They have a pretty good map. The only bad thing is that my gold is forward. I have a nice one at the back, but it's not really good for early game because it's very far away and it's on a hill. Oh, I messed up. I think it's fine though. Go for the barracks now. Slightly low HP village. Shouldn't matter too much. Just use one village over here to wall this up. I don't really care too much about my stone. Because the castle is not really part of the plan. And maybe I'll just wall across like this. Yeah, straight up. It's probably the best way to go here. Nice. Alright. I'm liking what I'm doing here. So far, so good. Alright. Sometimes you have to watch out. A scout can come and harass your villager. Like, this guy's a little bit weak, so you have to, like, keeping a close eye on him. What I like to do is actually... I like to put him in a control group. Alright, he's gonna commit here, so I'm gonna send another bill. I have a spear coming out, but I don't know if I'm gonna be in time. Yeah, alright. Well, 1 for 1. So he gets a bill, I get the scout. Let's wall that side. And now let's see what he's doing. That's actually not a bad trade. But only because I killed the scout. If I didn't kill the scout, it would be like pretty bad. But with killing the scout, like that 1 for 1 is actually pretty decent. Now I see what he's doing. He's going to go Flemish Militia and likely skirms afterwards. We can do a gate here. And some archers he's walling up quite heavily. I'm not really interested in sniping his villagers though. It's whatever. Alright. I think a blacksmith at the end of this wall would be amazing. Here I can just wall up nice and early. I hope it doesn't keep me open here. That would be really hard to play. Okay. Bring my archer out. He's already got a skirm, so... Oh, he's got 2 skirms. That's going to be really hard. That spear should carry a bit. I'm using a lot of my infantry there to actually put a lot of pressure on these skirms. Okay, I need my blacksmith down here. Just because I have to just get it down at this point. Maybe I can add an eagle as well. Could be reasonable. He got his skirms in the end. Still getting good shots though, actually. It doesn't look like much, but thinning out his aggression there, thinning out his HP, that's how you eventually clear it. Just another hit. A couple other hits there. Nice. So like every skirmisher that comes into the mix is a little bit weak by default. And looks like I'll get the walls down. So very nice hold so far. I like what I'm seeing. All right. And we got the walls down. So cool. So first step completed. Just defend, get your walls down. And this is where the really interesting part will come to play. We're going to try to set up a cheeky little... Oh, let's send some villagers here, actually, onto the berries. Okay. We're going to try to set up some extra archers in Castle Age. And all I need is a counter to skirmishers. So it could be eagles, and it could also just be siege. I think in this case, because they're so close together, it would just be siege. Remember, I thinned out a lot of his skirmishers here, so I can easily fight this. Good micro from him. I kind of outplayed him there. I didn't shoot the second time. Here we go. Just because I knew he would dodge. Alright, a lot of these skirms going down now. No upgrades on those guys. Very greedy. Oh, nice. Quick villager. Micro's kind of crazy here. Now you got fletching, so now like armor's probably kicking in, so I'm just gonna literally back up. And we're good to go. Alright, so I think here we'll just cancel and go up. And I'll squeeze in Castle Age. Perfect. Second lumber camp. Up to Castle Age. Let's also get on a few more bills onto the gold. So I want to play. I want to play with like 2 ranges at first. It's like a pretty heavy archer play early. And then you also get your town center set up. So we'll go for this. Gold upgrade, farm upgrade coming up soon. Hello, Hera. I'm fairly new to the game. I bought it watching you play. Sometimes I feel like there's too much going on and I don't know what to do as my next move. Yeah, it's completely normal. You'll learn as you play the game. A lot of my beginner guides try to simplify what you're trying to do. And that way you can actually focus on doing at least a couple things really right instead of trying to do like everything at the same time and failing. Harry, do you think playing ladder helps you outshine others in tournaments? Yeah, it does help. Playing ladder does help, for sure. I would say it's not like that important, but it is, you know, it is somewhat important. Hey, I just finished the game versus Dark yesterday. Awesome game. Very disappointed with the disconnect. It was still so close. I know. It was absolutely epic. Like, it was going to come down to one big fight. Will I consider the 2K series? I'm not sure. Maybe at some point I will. I actually don't know. Alright, so here we're going to start with a barracks. Sorry, no, a siege workshop, excuse me. Just to get some kind of anti-skirmish around the field. You need that if you're going to play crossbows. As you can see, he's already got a lot of skirmishers on the field. So I know this. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to get bowsaw. And then I could consider like a monastery if I want to. Probably a good idea. Yo, Fabio, what's up? Thanks to the Prime. Welcome, welcome. Alright, I could consider a monastery here. Important thing is to get like a town center on my gold at some point. Monastery is nice actually, but I think honestly what I want is just another town center for now. Because I won't really be able to pick up relics if you think about it. I want to fight his army a lot. Dude, I want to set up extra ranges, Viper style, like we talked about earlier. But I have to set up my economy for that first, because I'm already doing siege. I don't want to do siege monk. I have no time to set up economy if I do that, so. Nice. Getting some good trades. Again, when you mix in that mangonel, you have a lot more micro potential, which is good. I'm mixing a second mangonel. There we go. This is great. So now I just want to mix in my third town center and then just start spamming ranges instead of farms. So I'm going to be like low farm count. Oh, that's a good shot, I think. No, he dodged. Okay. He has a market. Yeah. Sorry, he's got a monastery, excuse me, not a market. I can get a town center out here. So next step is actually ballistics, probably. And armor. So I want a lot of wood. And I want a lot of gold. Very important resource. I don't need a lot of food, actually. So when we make like farms, I'm going to stay on like 16 farms for gold production. I'm not going to save up for imp at all, almost. For like a long time. I'm going to fight with a lot of archers here. It's a very unique style, actually. Oh, big hits there. He's going to have to go back. Just kind of controlling things. University. And then we start adding in ranges, so. Very fast pace. Magnos are already controlling the map very nicely. Tries to farm trick him there a little. Not a gold, so one more farm. That's pretty much it. I'll just remake these, but I'm not going to make more farms. And now I'm going to start adding in some ranges. So I'm looking to trade now with him. I want to fight as much as possible. I don't want to have like a stalemate. Stalemate is bad. Fighting is good. I'm going to be fighting with cheap crossbows. All right, cool. Now I start adding in ranges. So this is where it gets really heated. And you'd even go for thumb ring here. So you go for thumb ring. There we go. And we're going to start fighting. And this is not... No one did this back in the day. Like, this is a completely new strategy. I've only seen this ever by Viper. Like, done by Viper. I'm sure there's other people that do it, especially at, like, lower levels and whatnot. But at the highest level, I feel like only Viper is doing this. And now my plan is just to try to fight as much as possible. I've got ballistics, I got thumb ring. I'm waiting for the last armor, but I have like really good upgrades on my units. So now I'm going to be starting to spam out, you know, a lot of these cheap crossbows, like full range production. I'm going to go for a lot more. And now I'm looking to fight as much as possible. It doesn't mean waste. It just means we need to trade. But if it's a really bad fight, I won't take it, of course. But this kind of like skill expression here, I will take this for sure. There we go. 1 for 1 of the mangonel. With thumb ring, I mean, look, my unit's really good. Like, it's actually a really good unit. I'm disregarding, like, entirely. We're going to go for, like, 7 ranges now. It's it's literally crazy. I'm disregarding the relics. Like, I couldn't care less. And because I have 3 town centers fully producing builds, I actually have a really good economy behind this. I can start taking stone. In fact, that's something he would do a lot of the times. Just start taking some stone. Of course, he had the obsidian arrows back in the day. I keep mentioning it, but... even without it, should be fine. Ooh, terrible trade there. But it is a trade, which I'm looking to do. As dumb as that sounds, that is the right idea. And so, like, even against skirmishers, because my archers are actually just a good unit. Especially with thumb ring, I'm able to take some reasonable trades here. And my archers are so cheap, and I'm making so many of them that, like, he's on what, like the standard 2 ranges? It's just not enough. He doesn't even have the second armor, so he's getting overrun here by archers that are really cheap. And I'm looking to fight and trade as much as I can. There we go. Kind of micro a little bit, this mangonel. And it's just game. It's just game, because I've got so many crossbows, you can't deal with it. And this is such a fun playstyle. Like, it's genuinely insane. This is how Viper used to play with the Mayans. He was the only person that used to play like this. No one else would use the mines this way. And it still works. I think it's like... I think it really shows how broken the civilization is, actually. It's only 3 bonuses that you get, but like the fact that you're getting a 20% discount on foot archers is absurd. Like, combining that with a good eco and a good start. I mean, it's like, what, 23 crossbows on the field after taking that big fight. I have 7 range production. My opponent has what? He lost the range in the front. He was only on 1 range. And then he had 1 stable and 1 siege workshop. And of course, he invested into a monastery. I skipped the monastery. I went straight only on 1 unit with only a supporting siege to counter the skirms. And in the end, I was just killing skirmishers with crossbows. It didn't even matter what he had. And I think it's just such a phenomenal strategy. And the reason why this works is that people aren't used to dealing with this much military. Like, the average military that people are, you know, used to dealing with is like 2 range archers, you know, maybe 3 if it's an all-in. And then usually I'd be like, all this wood that you see right now, it would just be going to farms. And so I'd be up to imp around now, but not really dealing damage. I just like hugging the hill, getting a castle. It's obviously a good playstyle, but this is how you catch people off guard. And this is genuinely how you should be playing Mayans if you like to micro archers and you like to play a lot of army, a lot of aggression. And it really just shows that you don't need to play with the conventional AoE2 rules in mind. You don't have to go for imp. You don't need to take the relics. you could just spam out your best unit and then try to win with that kind of aggressive style. So thanks for watching. If this does make it to YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more old school strats that Viper or other players used to do back in the day that aren't as popular nowadays. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.